What's up, Everyday Blades? So, we got a cool knife to review today. Lots of cool knives on this channel, but this one's right in there with them. Brian Brown Knives Yeager V2, I believe. So I'm a little late to the game on this one, I'll admit. I always liked the look of the knife, but I just didn't find the deal that I wanted. This one is in M390 with a PVD handle. It says blue anno on the card, but I don't have the blue anno hardware. I bought this one on the secondary. So it's the Yeager V2. And that'll do her. Comes with a nice zipper pouch, double knife zipper pouch. We'll get that out of the way. So when I got it, I had watched several reviews of some well-known, well-respected knife reviewers, and they gushed over it, and said it was a really amazing knife. So that's honestly what made me go ahead and get it. When I got it, the first thing that came to my mind was weight. And honestly, unfortunately, my scale hit the ground and broke the other day. I don't have the weight on it, and it's not that heavy. It's perceived weight. It just feels heavy. It's balanced well. It's a little bit, just a hair blade heavy right in the center. Maybe not. No, it's sitting right there. I like the look of the knife. It's just the weight, and I expected to roll this over and see no milling, and I was surprised to see that, hey, it's got milling all the way through both sides. Maybe it's the heavy, chunky, thick blade, which I like, but it just feels like a heavier knife. Of course, when you've been handling knives that are super light, like I have lately, a lot of smaller, medium-sized knives, to get a more heavy, a more robust knife, you're going to feel the difference. It's definitely not to the point where it bothers me at all. It just feels heavier than I thought it would. It's perception. So we got that sweet Warren clip blade with beautiful grind lines. They killed it. They are just beautiful. I believe it came with the black pocket clip. The previous owner swapped it out with the plain titanium, which I really like. I ordered the plain satin hardware to change out because I don't care for the black hardware. I do like PVD coated scales. I do not like PVD coated blades. I think I would like maybe even like the flipperless version a little better. So when I got it, the action was fair. It wasn't great. Took it apart and cleaned it. It needed a little bit of a cleaning. Wasn't too bad, but the pivot was a little bit tight. Kind of looked like the oil had kind of moved away from the pivot, and a little bit of debris had built up on it. So it needed a good cleaning and servicing. And when I put it back together and, of course, used the best lube that there is, Gunny Glide, I could notice a difference immediately. You could just spidey flick it right out. And I'm terrible at spidey flicking. So if the knife can spidey flick, that tells a whole lot about its action. It does bind up just a little bit. It's not drop shut, but it's just barely shake shut. And that's good enough for me. I'm good with that. Very happy with that. So I've been carrying this all week. It wasn't a carry one and do a review like I do a lot of things. I wanted to really get to know this knife, and I saw several people say the longer they had it, the more they liked it, and I see that. I agree with that. I'm kind of the same way. I actually ordered some skips for it today, even though I don't think it's going to do a whole lot of good, because this one comes with really good bearings, and you're just not with that detent. I don't think you're going to get the drop shutty, and they don't need to. We all focus on that, but it's a good measurement to tell you how good an action is when the pivot's tightened down properly, if it still drops shutty. But that one, that's a nice action right there. That's a controlled, that's nice. That's not even really a shake. That's just kind of a shimmy. That one was, but anywho, I think maybe with the skips it may get a little better, may not. Lefty changed his out. And, he's a straightforward guy, and he's like, I kind of feel like it is, but I don't really know. It could be the same. So I'm going to risk it for the biscuit and change them out spend the money on it, see how it works out. I almost bought a Damasteel version. I mean, I was this freaking close to buying the Damasteel one and decided to buy this one. Because I just didn't know if I was going to like it or not. Because, you know, I have the Rosie. And this is kind of similar to the Rosie in the shape and size, but this feels like it weighs 1,000 times more than the Rosie. Because the Rosie doesn't weigh anything. It's a featherweight. And all knives don't have to be featherweights either. I'm a big guy, big pipe, 6'6". I mean, 300 pounds. And this knife doesn't bother me in my pocket. It's just an observation. So let's look at it against a couple other knives. Spyderco Para 3. Benchmade grip. Let's see what else I got in here that'll be something really cool to compare it to. Let's compare it to the. So this knife kind of came out about the same time. The McNeese Mac 2 3.5. So, and this is one of my favorite knives of all time. The action on this one is, forget about it, stupid. But yeah, these were, and if you're comparing these two, of course, this one wins hands down for me. But, you know, availability. You're just not going to find anything in that space for anywhere near the amount of money. And speak of the devil, Rosie. You know, the Rosie feels like it weighs nothing compared to that, but it's actually not a huge difference. It's just the Rosie is just so light. I think it's less than 2 ounces. It's unbelievable. Let's try one more. See what else we got in the bucket. No, that's good enough. So let's take some measurements. Just over 3 inches. You know, it's just a hair over 3 inches, but I think on this knife you wouldn't want to go any shorter to try to meet that 3-inch law. That blade is a great length. It's for this knife, for this shape, that blade is a great length. Look at even the grind lines on the flats. Beautiful. They did a great job. I mean, it's killer. It's great design, great execution. Don't know if I'm as in love with it as some other people, but it's a great knife, no doubt. I would absolutely recommend it. It would actually go into my recommended list. So, nice pivot collars. A lock bar stabilizer. It does have an over travel stop as well. I like where they put their logo and the relief cut. Very nice. This is really cool too. The back spacer, how it rises up and crowns. Really cool. Very nice. Alright guys, that is the Brian Brown Yeager production version. Thanks for watching. God bless you and your families. If you're not in our Facebook group, go join it. Links in the description. Patreon links in the description. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.